This is an apology message to Ryan Sylvia, Brandon Pippin, and Andy Ho, and some other YouTubers, wherever that is, like Ryan Goodwin. So yeah, but most of all, it's just 3 YouTubers. So yeah, but the other ones so yeah, I don't know what to say, but yeah. So anyways, this is gonna be an apology message to Brandon Pippin, Andy Ho, and Ryan Sylvia. Ryan Sylvia, Andy Ho, and Brandon Pippin, if you're watching this, I have something to say. I'm very sorry for me supporting and liking Dan Sobel. Yeah, I'm very sorry for me supporting and liking Dan Sobel. And I do understand why you don't want anyone to trust Dan Sobel, because back in July 2024, Dan Sobel was changing his pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok. I did saw that video, but I only saw it on TikTok. I only saw it on YouTube. But it's only when it's on what Dan Sobel did, it says. Like when Dan Sobel was changing his pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok, during the Daniel Tiger's music on TikTok, actually. Well, somebody gotta tell you why he changed pajamas. He only did that for fun, but he wasn't doing anything bad for it, but he thought he did the right thing, but it turns out he wasn't doing the right thing. And I do understand why he was doing wrong, because he shouldn't do that. I wonder why you don't want to trust Dan Sobel because of that. So yeah, well, mostly you, Ryan Silva, you decided not to trust Dan Sobel before he changed pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok. And guys, and both of you, if you're watching this, I think you probably noticed, but I did already cut ties Dan Sobel. I'm not really friends with Dan Sobel. I kinda do hate Dan Sobel nowadays, except he made a letter segment for me and stuff like that. But no, mostly I have no opinion on Dan Sobel. I'm still not friends with Dan anymore. Well, and you're right, you guys. I should never like Dan Sobel. I thought he was a good person, but if I were you guys, I'm probably not going to give Dan another chance. If I were you, Brandon Pippin, Andy Ho, and Ryan Sylvia, only if you never respect my opinion on Dan. Anyone who never respect my opinion on Dan Sobel, nowadays I will let you. I'll take the answer as yes. Well, anyone who never trusts Dan Sobel, that is. But if my other YouTubers who's still neutral to Dan Sobel, I can handle their opinions, but so yeah. Only if they're innocent and they're good YouTubers, that is. So yeah. Yeah. And Andy Ho, Ryan Silva, and Brandon Pippin. I wasn't sure if it's Ryan Sylvia or Ryan Silva. I don't know which one, but yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I'm very sorry for me supporting and liking Dan Sobel. And I'm not as bad as Dan Sobel. I'm not really a bad person. And I did like Dan Sobel for a reason, in case you're wondering, Brad Pippin. The reason why I like it is because he likes to do some fun stuff like his letter segments. I like him for his Blue's Clues letter segments. But I used to like Dan Sobel, but nowadays I now hate him for good. Well, I originally started hating Dan Sobel the first time back in August of last year of 2024, and then I started liking him again because I can't stand Dan Sobel hurting my feelings. The reason why Dan Sobel hated me back in December is because I cut ties him. So I cannot stand Dan to cut ties me anymore. So yeah. That's why I had to like him again. But as of right now, until April 7th of 2025, I just already cut ties Dan Sobel. I already cut ties him. I mostly have no opinion on Dan Sobel, because if I were you guys, I'm probably no longer friends with Dan Sobel. And I'm not gonna give, and I don't want to I don't want to give Dan another chance at all. I love to, but I can't. I would love to if I found out, when Dan Sobel came back to YouTube, when he said that what he have learned. Well, that video, I don't know if I'll give him another chance if I were you guys. But if I were you guys, I probably won't give Dan another chance at all. Because of you guys, if I were you guys, I probably won't give him another chance. Ever. I probably won't give him a chance at all. Because I know you hate Dan Sobel. For me, I kind of do hate Dan Sobel, but for you, you probably hate him big time than I am, but I kind of do him a little bit, but I mostly have no opinion on Dan Sobel. I have no opinion on Dan nowadays. I guess the only reasons why I hate Dan Sobel is because he did some terrible things. I don't know about the fun stuff, like the good stuff, such as taste test videos. And if I did like Dan Sobel in the past, the only thing I prefer is he did some fun stuff like his taste test videos. Just not when he was doing something wrong. I just don't like when Dan Sobel did terrible things. I do understand why he was doing wrong. It's because Dan Sobel was screaming at Devin Osborne, and he was screaming at Vinny the social media guy back in September of 2022. And I understand why he was changing his pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok. I remember he made grounding threats and cusses and said the N-word as well. Well, as of right now on Dan Sobel, he's no longer making message videos or bad videos out of people anymore. For me, that's the good news, but I would love to give Dan another chance, but nope, I'm not giving him a chance. And I already cut ties Dan Sobel. I already blocked him and unsubscribed to Dan Sobel, you guys. For you, that would have been the good news. And plus, there's only one thing I don't understand about no precision. When you post me on the community tab, I don't understand about that. If I did something wrong, I'm very sorry for that as well. If I was doing anything, if I had no right to do when I post that, am I going to start liking Dan Sobel? And I just said no. I might delete a message video out of Dan Sobel. If that video is getting pointless, I might delete that video of the message video to Dan Sobel. Because after I cut tight Dan, I just decided to make a message video to Dan Sobel. I have done, so yeah. So I'm very sorry for me supporting and liking Dan Sobel. And I'm not going to be friends with him again. And I do understand why you don't want to trust Dan Sobel, because he called Dan a pedophile. But I remember a while ago, the old thing, we call him a man-child or a pedophile. So yeah. Because you say Dan a pedophile. Because what I've done in the past, like he was changing his pajamas. So I wonder why you don't want everyone to trust Dan Sobel. So yeah, I'm very sorry for supporting and liking Dan Sobel. And I'm not, just because I like him doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I mean, I'm not a bad person. Right now, probably think I'm a bad person, right? Well, I'm not really, I am really innocent. I don't really do bad stuff. I'm not as bad as you guys. I'm not as bad as Dan Sobel. I don't usually do swear words either. I don't wish people a happy birthday. I don't say the N-word. I don't say any swear words. I'm really innocent. I'm a good person. So are you, Brennan Pippin and you ho and Ryan Silva, I believe you're good people. I'm not sure if you care about me. So I'm very sorry. I think you probably might care about me if I did cut ties Dan Sobel. But I'm not sure if you care about me still. So yeah. Because about no position part. And yeah, I'd have no rights to. And I had no rights to like Dan Sobel. I have a right to hate him. But if Dan Soul said that he wanted to cut ties him, that's fine with Dan. I guess it's fine for him. I guess if Dan Soul doesn't want, if I was gonna hate Dan Soul, that's fine for Dan Sobel. Sorry, you guys. Nowadays, since he's not gonna do anything bad anymore. Well, for me, I hope he's not gonna do anything bad anymore again. So yeah. Yeah, I kind of do hate Dan Soul, but I don't know about his good stuff though. Like he does his Blue's Clues stuff, which I do like Blue's Clues. Which some of you who hates Blue's Clues, I can handle your opinions on Blue's Clues, but I'm not gonna give Dan another chance because of that. Because of those you guys. You never respect my opinion on Dan Sobel. So yeah. But as of right now, since April 7th, I already cut ties. Dan Sobel. This time for good. And here's one thing I don't understand about no position. When I made a message video to Dan Sobel or post stuff, what I said about, am I gonna start liking Dan Sobel? And you tell me about no position. I don't understand what that means. But I'm not a bad person just because I did that. I don't do bad stuff. Well, I don't think I do bad stuff. So yeah. So once again, you guys, I'm very sorry for me supporting and liking Dan Sobel. And you were right, you guys. I was wrong. Can you please forgive me, Andy Ho, Brandon Pippin, and Ryan Sylvia, and some other YouTubers such as Ryan Goodwin. If you don't want to accept my apology, that's fine. I don't really care. But I really don't hate you, Brandon Pippin. I like you, Brandon Pippin, because you like to do some VHS tapes and VCR reviews, and I'll never ever tell you to force you to get stuff like Barney, because I know you hate Barney with a burning passion. And Andy Ho, I don't mind your YouTube channel, and so are you, Ryan Sylvia, because you like to do. I don't mind your YouTube channel, Ryan Sylvia, because you like to do some VHS tapes and DVDs and stuff like that. I know you do openings and closings. But I'm never going to give Dan another chance at all. And I don't understand what no position means. When you commenting on my channel or someone posts me stuff on the community tab. Maybe I should have done that as well. If I did wrong, I'm probably sorry what I done. Just on posting stuff on the community tab or making message videos. Dan Sobel. I mean, for now, if you want to tell me if I want to delete the video of making a message video to Dan Sobel, you could probably ask permission if you want to. Mostly you, Andy Ho. So yeah. So I think that's all I gotta say for this message video. Can you please forgive me? I'm very sorry for liking Dan Sobel. Thank you. I think that's all I gotta say for this video. Thanks for watching. Peace.